overall visualization, assigning the overall visualization with single chart type, visualization with single chart type, with single chart type. We are going to assign the overall visualization with single chart type. When we will prefer individual access means whenever we need to compare, whenever we need to compare the values, whenever we need to compare the values, whenever we need to compare the values in each and every axis, in each and every axis, in each and every axis individually, every axis individually. In such cases, we'll make use of, we will make use of individual axis chart. We'll make use of individual axis chart. We'll make use of individual axis chart. That means for every measure we have one axis will be there, guys. For every measure we have one axis will be there, and we are going to make use. Suppose if I'm going to take, oh my god, here if I'm going to take whatever we have, I don't know whether it's okay. Here this is, we have, just think that this is the sale, guys. This is the sale, and then sales value. If you want the profit, then what it is going to give, you have one more axis will be there. For profit you are going to get the one more axis. If I'm going for inserting some other charts here, if I want some other, once again if I'm going to click on here, I'm going to get the once again one more chart. Here for every measure, we have one axis will be there for every measure, but it should be one above, like one is above and other one is below we have, but we don't have this space, guys. Likewise, just I'm showing, but each and every measure value we have one axis will be there. For each and every measure value we have one axis will be there, and as well as n plus 1 marks cards are there, as well as n plus 1 marks cards are there. By the help of all, we are going to assign the only bar chart, because both the charts should be bar chart. If by the help of n, I can assign for this bar chart and I can assign for this line chart or area chart, whatever dependency we can apply, that this is how exactly we are going to make use of individual axis chart. We are going to make use of individual axis chart, and then we have the blended axis, and then we have blended axis, guys, and then we have the blended axis, and here we have the blended axis are there. Blended axis is nothing but name itself, it's telling that blended means combining or mixing. Name itself it's telling that blending means combining or mixing. If we are, combining one measure value, measure with other measure axis, other measure in axis level, we can create, the blended axis chart. We can create the blended axis chart, guys. If we are combining one measure with other measure in the measure axis, then we can create the blended axis chart. Whenever we are combining, whenever we are combining, Tableau, automatically it will generate, it will generate two new fields. Two new fields are there, two new fields. One is measure name, one is measure names, and other one is measure values. One is measure names, other one is measure values. Here measure names are nothing but some other aggregated, here you can call non-aggregated data, non-aggregated measures, another name. Non-aggregated measures we can call as measure names, and aggregated measure we'll call as measure values. Aggregated measures, how exactly it will be differ means, here if you are going to see what exactly measure names means, without applying the aggregation on the measure, without applying the aggregation on measure, aggregation on measure will call as measure we will call as measure names. We will call as measure names. We will call as measure names, guys. That means, for example, I have the sales. For example, we have the sales, comma, profit, comma, quantity. This all these things we will call as measure names. This all these things we will call as measure names. Measure values are nothing but if we are applying the aggregation on measure, aggregation on measures we will call as measure values. We'll call as measure values. We'll call as measure values. If you are applying the aggregation on the measure, we'll call as measure values. Whatever we have, for example, we have whatever the things means sum of sales. Sum of sales is one aggregated measure like measure value, and sum of profit is one more measure value, sum of profit, and sum of quantity is one more measure value. This all these things we will call as measure values. When we will go for blended access means whenever we need to compare, the multiple measure values side by side, compare the measure values side by side, then we will we will make use of blended access. Then we will make use of blended access chart. Blended access is nothing but, we can call blended access chart is nothing but side by side chart. Blended access chart is nothing but blended access, not chart. Blended access is nothing but side by side chart. Nothing but side by side chart. Nothing but side by side chart. Side by side chart. We are going to get the side by side chart. Blended access is nothing but side by side chart. This is how exactly it will works, and it will give the results for us. This is how it will works, and it will give the results, how exactly it can make use, and it will give the results for us, guys. And then we have dual access, and then we have the dual access side. Dual access we have, I'm going to copy the dual access, and then going for here we have the dual access. We have dual access is there. We have dual access. We have dual access. Dual access is nothing but name itself. It's telling that we can use only two access. In dual access, we can use only two measures. Dual access is nothing but if we are placing one measure value, if we are placing one measure value opposite to the other measure, other measure, we can create the dual access. For each and every measure here also. For each and every measure we have one access. Every measure we have one access, as well as n plus 1 marks cards, n plus 1 marks cards are there. And we know about n. What exactly about n? N is nothing but number of measures. If I need to assign the axis, if we need to assign the each and every measure value, if we need to assign every measure value with one chart type, measure value with one chart type, then we'll make use of then we'll make use of then we will make use of then we will make use of selection of measure from marks card level, guys. We are going to select the from marks card level. This is how exactly we can make use. But if we want overall visualization, with single chart type, if you need to assign if we need to assign overall visualization, overall, assign overall visualization with single chart type, with single chart type, then we'll make use of, then we will make use of, then we will make use of, then we will make use of, and like all option, then we'll make use of all option, guys. This is how, when we need to go for means dual access, if we need to analyze, if we need to analyze the, if we need to analyze the multiple measure, that means two measures. If we need to analyze the two measure values in single pane, measure values in single pane, in single pane, then we'll make use of, then we will make use of, then we'll make use of dual access, guys. Then we'll make use of dual access, then we are going to make use of dual access. If we need to analyze multiple measure values in single pane, sorry guys, in single pane, then we are going to make use of dual access, then we are going to make use of dual access. Single pane, what is pane, we need to know, guys. Just we are going to get to know about what is pane. 1 minute. Dual access. Okay, coming to here, wherever we have, just what exactly about pane means, you we need to know about three things. One is table, other one is pane, other one is cell, other one is cell, guys. Here, like first we are going to discuss about table. Table is nothing but overall visualization, overall visualization we'll call as table, visualization we will call as table, we will call as table, guys, table. And then pane is nothing but subset or subpart of the visualization, subpart of the visualization, visualization we'll call as pane, visualization we will call as pane, we will call as pane. Cell, each and every individual field, each and every individual field, every individual field will call as, we will call as, will call as cell, we will call as cell, guys. Each and every individual field will call as cell. This is how exactly these three things are there. And then this will go into discuss in depth at calculation level, how to compute at table level, how to compute at pane level, how to compute at cell level is there. And once again, once it's completed the dual access, we have, by the help of that three we can create two more, what we discussed. In the two more is nothing but one is combination chart, one is combination chart, one is combination charts. Combination of charts are nothing but if we are combining, if we are combining both individual access, both individual access as well as dual access. If you are combining both individual access as well as dual access, then we can create, then we can create the, then we can create the, then we can create the, then we can create the combination axis chart, then we can create the combination chart, then we can create the combination charts. Why we are combining the two means, both the behavior is same, like there also we have n plus 1 marks cards and here also n plus 1 marks cards. For each and every measure value, there also we have one axis, here also we have one axis. Both the behavior will be same, as well as here also, as well as here also what we have, for each and every measure value, for each and every measure value we have one axis, every measure value we have one axis, we have one axis, as well as n plus 1 marks, as well as n plus 1 marks cards, as well as n plus 1 marks cards. And n equal to, and n equal to number of measures, n equal to number of measures, and 1 equal to all, guys. n equal to number of measures and 1 equal to all. We know about what is all and we know about number of measures. And finally we have which is known as combination access chart, which is known as combination access chart. Combination access chart is nothing but if you are combining all the three, combination access chart is nothing but if we are combining all the three charts, all the three charts, then we'll call as we will call as combination access chart. Then we'll call as combination access chart. Then we are going to call as combination access chart. If we're combining all the three charts, then we are going to call as combination access charts, guys. Just we'll see practically how we can implement. And in blended access, we need to know about one more thing. We not in blended dual access. We need to know about synchronized access. Synchronize access. What exactly about synchronized access is nothing but if we want the same sizes from if we want same sizes from both the access, then we'll make use of access. Then we will make use of then we will make use of synchronized access. We'll make use of synchronized access. We are going to make use of synchronized access, guys. If I need to make use of both the access with same sizes, then we are going to make use of synchronized access. And then once it has been completed, we'll see practically how we can implement this all the things, guys. I'm going to save. I will forward you guys this PPT. And then wherever we have our tool is here. Taking some sample superstore data, and here multiple measures. First we are going to discuss about individual access. What exactly individual access we discussed? If we are placing one dimension, one measure inside the other measure, we can create the individual access chart. Suppose, just think that I have a subcategory and I have this sales. This is one individual access, guys. And I'm going to profit inside the sales. Then I'm going to get one more access. If I'm going to drag the quantity inside this, then we are going to get the one more access. And we will get as well as n plus 1 marks cards. By the help of, if we are placing one measure value inside the other measure, we can create the individual access chart as well as n plus 1 marks cards will be there. N equal to number of measures and 1 equal to all. Here by the help of all only, we are assigning single chart type. Either you want line, you can assign. Either you want area, you can assign. Likewise, any one of the chart type. Bar, you are going to assign. Either you want circle, you can assign. Either you want some other chart, whatever we have the Gantt bar, you can assign. But there's all these things single chart type by making use of all. But I don't want likewise. I want the sales with one chart and profit with one more chart and quantity is one more chart. I'm going to select the sales. I'm going to change to pie chart. I'm going to select the profit. I'm going to change to line chart, and I'm going to keep quantity as it is like bar chart. That means here I can apply the individual charts by the help of selecting the measure values from marks card, or you can assign the overall visualization with single chart type also. We can assign the overall visualization with single chart type also, guys. This is how exactly we can build the like individual access chart, guys. And then blended access, and then blended access, and then blended access. Blended access is nothing but if you're combining one measure value with other measure, guys. If we're combining one measure value with other measure, if we need to go for side by side analysis, if we need to perform the side by side analysis, then we are going to make use of blended access. How exactly you are going to perform the side by side analysis means, just think that you have the whatever we have some segment are there and segment wise sales are there. for this sales, how much of profit has got? Just drag profit into sales axis. Just combine here. Then you will get the sales and profit. Drag the sales above so that it, oh my God, Control Z and drag the sales into above, guys. You will get the sales first and then profit. I need to see the how much of quantity has been happened. I need to see how much of quantity has been happened, because this much of quantity I got this much of sale value, and in that sale value this is the profit value. If you need to compare side by side analysis, you can drag the measure, like whenever we are combining Tableau, automatically will generate two new fields. One is measure names, other one is measure values. If you need to check, guys, once again Control Z here, once again Control Z here, Control Z. This is only one field whatever we have. Anywhere we have measure names and measure values here, but whenever you drag the profit into sales, you can check automatically it has been generated measure names as well as measure values. Automatically it is going to generate measure names as well as measure values. And we need to know what exactly measure names. We need to know about what exactly measure names. Measure names are nothing but here, if you can see, profit. Profit is one measure name. Sales is one more measure name. Measure values are nothing but sorry guys, sum of profit and sum of sales, which comes under measure values, and measure names are nothing but profit and sales, which comes under measure names. This is how exactly we can make use and we'll get the results, guys. This is how we can make use and we'll get the results, and we can combine n number of measures. Here I can drag. Here you have the quantity, profit and sale. If we need to arrange, drag the like whatever we want, quantity, profit and sales. This much of quantity, I got this much of sale value. In that sale value, this is the profit. And if you need to color code each and every measure name with one color, means drag the measure name into color. Drag the measure name into color. It is going to assign for sales one color, profit one color, and quantity one more color. This is how we can build the blended access chart, guys. Just compare. Here if you go for show me, you have a chart side by side bar. It's nothing but blended access chart. It's nothing but blended access chart, guys. And then we have dual access, and then we have the dual access, guys, and then we have dual access chart. We have dual access chart. Dual access chart is nothing but here I have a subcategory, guys. If once we are placing one measure value opposite to the other measure, I have the sales, and if I'm going to drag the profit opposite to this, then we can create the dual axis. But it's a single pane only, guys. It's a single pane. We are analyzing the multiple measure values. In single pane, if you need to analyze the multiple measure values, then we'll go for dual axis. Then we'll go for dual axis. Here, whatever we have, guys, whenever we are combining Tableau, automatically it will generate like one field which is known as measure names. Whenever we are combining Tableau, automatically will generate. Whenever we are combining Tableau generates one new field. Tableau generates one new field, one new field which is known as new field, which is known as measure names, It is going to generate one new field which is known as measure names. You can see here, guys, measure names are nothing but profit and sales are measure names. If I need to assign overall visualization with single chart type, I can assign. Else I want individual chart type, means I am going to select the measure value and I can assign bar chart. I am going to assign the profit. I can assign the line chart. But what we discuss means I want both the axes with same size. Here 1 lakh size difference is there in sales, but in profits we have 10,000 difference is there. But I don't want. For end client it is not going to be more meaningful. Right click on this. I'm going to make a synchronize axis. Synchronize axis. Click on this. Now you can see both the axes with same size difference will be there. Then I am going to hide this. Then I am going to show header. I am going to hide. Here this line is indicating the profit which is showing here, and these bars are indicating the sales which is showing here, guys. This is how exactly we can analyze the dual axis chart. This is how we can analyze the dual axis chart, guys. And then we have the combination chart, and then we have combination chart, guys. Combination charts are nothing but if you're combining both individual axis and dual axis. If you're combining both individual axis and dual axis, then we'll call as combination charts. Then we'll call as combination charts. And here in this combination charts, I'm going to drag the subcategory, guys, and I have the sales, and if I have the profit, this is nothing but individual axis chart. This is nothing but individual axis chart. If I'm going to place quantity opposite to the sales, then we'll call as dual axis. If I'm going to place whatever we have profit ratio opposite to the profit, then we'll call as dual axis. That means I make use of individual axis as well as I make use of dual axis. Then this type of chart we'll call as combination axis chart. If you are combination chart, guys, if you are going to make use of individual axis as well as if you are going to make use of dual axis, then we'll call as combination charts. Here I am going to select, if I want the overall visualization with single chart type, I can assign. But if you want the individual chart, I want bar here, and here I want something circle chart here, and here I want the line chart, and once again here I want some other chart, whatever we want, the some other square chart. Then we are going to get the results of exactly. Else you can make use of all to assign the single chart type, whatever, either it is line, either it is area, you are going to make use to get the specific results. This is what how exactly combination charts is going to work, guys. And then finally we have something known as combination axis chart. Finally we have something known as combination axis chart. Finally we have combination axis chart. Combination axis chart is nothing but if you are combining all the three, guys, if you are combining all the three, whatever, 1 minute, guys, whatever we have the three measures like individual axis, blended axis and dual axis, then we'll call as combination axis chart. If I have something state is 1 and I have the sales, this is individual axis, you can call. Profit into opposite, then we'll call as dual axis. And then quantity into sales, then we'll call as then we'll call as blended axis. You make use of individual axis, you make use of blended axis, and you make use of dual axis. Then this type of chart we'll call as combination axis chart, and this type of chart we'll call as combination axis chart. This is how exactly we are going to make use to build the combination axis chart. You need to make use of all individual axis, blended axis and dual axis. How means, just think, I have a region, guys, whatever we have some subcategory, I have the sales, this is individual axis. I have the profit into here, then this is blended axis. And then if I'm going to place the quantity opposite to this, then we'll call as dual axis. That means I make use of blended axis, I make use of dual axis, and I make use of individual axis. Then if you're using all the three axes, then we'll call as combination axis chart. Then we'll call as combination axis chart. This is how exactly we are going to make use of multiple measure concepts, guys. Do you have any doubts on this, guys? Any doubts, guys? Okay. Tomorrow onwards, we don't have same link, guys. Please, sorry, I missed your mail IDs, as well as I sent it the last 3-day classes, videos and material. Have you received? Everyone has received?